Hi everybody, welcome. This is Ifoma Okoli welcoming you back. Today there's something important, something very important that has been going on. We've been hearing about the Roe versus Wade case in the U.S. Roe versus Wade is this case between pro-lifers and pro-women's choice or pro-abortion. Okay, so the pro-lifers are saying, hey, you know what? Um, we don't want people to commit abortions anymore. Let it not be legal. Let's overturn Roe versus Wade. That was done some years ago, and then now, it allowed a lot of women to be able to get abortions legally anywhere in the United States, right? But a few days ago, the Roe versus Wade decision was overturned. Okay, and now it has a lot of people. A lot of people are angry about it because they say, you know, um, this has taken us back a few years. Like it has taken us back maybe 50 years or so. Yes, while it seems like it's backwards, and everything. And I can understand where people are coming from, where you had the right to do certain things and now you don't have the right to do that anymore. It's going to be very annoying. So today I'm here to proffer some kind of solutions and some kind of I don't know, tips or something to help out a little bit for those who are agonizing about this situation. Okay, so I think this can be likened to a thing of perspective. Let me know in the comment section. By the time we're done with this video, you let me know whether you think it's about perspective or just whatever you plain think about the whole matter. Again, we're talking about the reversal of the Roe versus Wade decision by the Supreme Court in the United States. Now they've banned abortion all over the United States, making it illegal for women to get abortions. Before I continue, I'm going to have to let us know this talk is going to be very real, it's going to be very raw, and this is not going to be for you if how will I say, if you're like super religious, okay? If you have decided that, you know what, this is not my thing, abortion is not my thing, or you decided you're not going to face this kind of situation ever, but it's going to be real, it's going to be raw. I'm going to be going against some things that people think that they knew, okay? And so just be open-minded about this. Abortion involves ending the life of a human being in the womb. Once there's a baby in there and there are heartbeats, then it's considered to be human life, right? That's a baby, that's a pregnancy, and then the removal of that life in the womb is called abortion. A lot of people do this when there is an unwanted pregnancy and they don't want to have that responsibility of taking care of the child, for whatever reason, right? That's what abortion usually involves. But then now that it's illegal now to abortions, is there another way to go around this issue? People say, oh, it's a woman's right to choose, and it is a woman's right to choose. So it's not a decision to be taken lightly at all. That's abortion, and it should be only be an option when somebody's life is in danger, like maybe especially the mother's life is in danger. Then abortion should be considered, so the woman does not die. And there are some issues that happen during pregnancies where maybe the baby is growing or the fetus now is growing in the tube, the fallopian tube, and that fallopian tube, if it bursts, it could kill the woman, right? So that's where people really do, like, they'll say, oh, you know what, the mother's life is at risk and we have to abort, so this woman does not die in the process. But now, is abortion something that to consider, like, okay, hey, there was intercourse, there was no protection, or protection fails, oh, I don't want this baby, and then so now it's time to remove the baby. Is there another way? First of all, women, I advocate, please and please know your ovulation times during the month, okay? And then there are apps out there that help women to calculate their menstrual period, the menstrual days that your menstrual cycle shows up, or your flow shows up. And then from there you can also calculate your ovulation days, so you kind of know when those days come around. And when it's ovulation period, that's when a girl, woman, lady, is most likely to get pregnant. So during those days, that's when women have to be extra careful about sexual intercourse at that time, because that's when you're most likely to get pregnant. you know in the case of rape, I would say prevention is now better than cure. Once the rape happens, the lady involved, the victim involved, she has got to go to the hospital. She needs medical attention. Okay, she needs shots to prevent um, sexually transmitted infections and diseases. She also needs to run tests. She needs to also take the morning after pill, so that there'll be no chance of getting pregnant from that rape. And it's a very tough situation when somebody is raped, but this is something that must be done with immediate effect as soon as possible, as soon as the rape happens. Now, another thing is, okay, now for consenting adults who are into intercourse and everything, married or unmarried, and they are not expecting or do not want to get pregnant. Now, females especially, you have to be very, very, very careful about having contraceptives. Okay, you need to use contraceptives, like double it up. Abortion is illegal and it should not just be done just to cover up mistakes, right? So now you need to have like two or three of these things, two or three of these working for you. Like number one, okay, using your morning after pill. That's one of those things. Using the morning after pill and being on contraceptives, regular contraceptives actually, you know. And then if it is your ovulation period, it's best to abstain completely. If it's ovulation period, abstain. But if you cannot abstain, then you have to put in all measures. Okay, condoms, morning after pills, be on a regular contraceptive regimen. If you are sexually active and you do not want to get pregnant. So, for example, you can if it's ovulation period and you and your partner, you don't want to abstain at that period, then you have to have condoms, and then you have to have, then, like, if you have to be doubly sure, do your morning after pills. And most women are on they have IUCDs, intrauterine contraceptive devices. These IUCDs, some stay for 5 years, some stay for 2 years, some stay for 10 years, but they all help to control, pregnancy and everything. So whenever somebody is ready, to have a child, then they can take the IUCDs out and try for pregnancy. See, because these days we know how the economy is. It's like really, really, really expensive to take care of children, right? So we have to, then be very, very careful of taking care of our health, as it pertains to contraception and some prevention. That's my take on some few tips that could help out for those who are disenfranchised. They are not happy with now abortion is being made illegal, and even here in Nigeria, abortion is illegal, So, but these are ways to help out the situation. These are ways to curb the situation, So, double up on contraceptive methods, using the morning after pills, or abstaining from sexual intercourse when it's ovulation period. Especially for the women, you have to know when your ovulation period comes around, and so you do have to, like, maybe use apps and use a calendar, know the time of your flow and calculate these things, so that you do not get or have unwanted pregnancies, and then it becomes a huge issue. So prevention is actually better than cure in this matter. Okay, really, my take, and this is my personal opinion, is when I look at abortion, I feel like a lot of babies have been taken out, a lot of babies have been removed, and it's said that about 63 million babies in the United States have been aborted. 63 million babies, 63 million people, 63 million destinies were never born. They were never born. And I don't know how many that number is in other places around the world, I know that the numbers are high. But then think about it, a lot of Einsteins were never born, people who would have given like big, huge inventions and things that would have changed the world for good were never born. And I think that's a serious loss to the world, I feel. So this matter of abortion is a very, very serious matter and should not be taken lightly. Ladies, this is for us. We need to be very, very aware of our ovulation, of our flow, of our calendar, monthly calendar. When is ovulation? When is your monthly flow coming around? Are you taking contraceptives? Do you have an IUCD put in? What is your strategy? You need to have a strategy. You cannot just be involving yourself in adult matters and being sexually active without having these strategies. It's not possible in this day and age. Yeah, you're setting yourself up for failure when you do that. Ladies, I'm putting this one on us for us to take care of it, because it's your body, and your man will not know these things. You're supposed to know these things for yourself, so you're supposed to take care of it. And then as much as possible, definitely, you're married, you have a partner, you're doing life together, bring him in on it so that he can also be involved and also remind you, things like that. But it's absolutely important to prevent and not get to that place anyways where you now have to abort. Okay, so now what happens in the case that all these prevention methods fail? What do? You get this unwanted pregnancy and there's no way you can legally abort, right? What do you do? In most places, there are orphanages, there are adoption agencies. Okay, so these are things that people need to put, like there are also social, what they call them, ministries for things like this, right? For women's health and all that stuff. But let's just look at the adoption agencies. Let's look at the orphanages. Now, this one is very tricky. This is now something that people now have to plan for. There's no other way to do that, right? But then to carry the baby. But then the baby can be taken to orphanages. The baby can be adopted by couples who have been looking for children to adopt, right? So these are also ways, to handle this issue. A lot of people who have done abortions, some of them died. They never came out. I feel that's there are so many complications with abortions, and then there are women now who aborted and it affected their wombs. Like their wombs can no longer carry babies because the wombs are now very, very thin from the scraping. They have to do during their abortion. They have to scrape to remove, a baby that is hanging onto the wall of a woman's womb during abortion. So these things weaken the womb a lot, and a lot of people have lost their wombs. They can no longer, bear children. So a lot of things have come out of abortion, and a lot of people carry the guilt. That's another thing. A lot of people carry the guilt of it afterwards. So those are things that being careful and being preventive will help us to prevent. I think we should consider this other perspective of serious active prevention, so as to prevent having to make that decision of whether to abort or not. Let me know, what do you think about this whole issue? What's your take on it? So you can leave comments and let me know. And if this is helpful, do share it. Share and subscribe. Click the subscribe button, the like button. Thank you very much for watching. And this is Ifoma Okoli, okay? And there is a lot on this channel. Check out the titles. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.